Welcome back. I'm Matt Wacker, and you're watching the Weekly Recap. There will soon be a new skyline along I-44 in Cuba. A steel sculpture some 35 feet high will remind travelers that what is now an interstate highway was once a trail used by the original inhabitants of the area. The sculpture will depict an Osage family traveling westward along the former Osage Trail. Lee Mentink spoke with the sculptors about the project.
I'm standing here with Glenn Teterow, the artist of the sculpture that's getting ready to go up in Cuba, Missouri. The sculpture is called the Osage Trail Legacy Monument. Can you tell me a little bit about your art, Glenn?
Sure. Actually, I had a dream about this project, about a vivid dream. And about 3 years ago, I got up the next morning and drew it out on paper and kind of sat on it for a couple years. And we was doing a project for the city last August, and I presented it to Dennis Rodemeyer, and so it just started growing since then, and I sculpted the clay representation of it, as you see behind you, and we'll be making it out of, and we are, out of 20 gauge steel, and it's going to be 3 times the life size XYZ.
Wow, so it is going to be an enormous monument.
Yes, we've already started on it, and my son Curtis is doing a lot of welding with me. We have to make lots of patterns, and we're doing the wolf at this time and the travois, and then we'll proceed on to the other pieces. It's a 4-piece display at one time. The height is, 35 feet tall. It'll be 80 foot long and 20 feet wide.
Oh my goodness, it's enormous. Well, Curtis, what's the time schedule on it? Do you know when it's going to be finished?
Currently, we're working on the wolf, and we're hoping to have it completed for display by Christmas. And then we'll be starting on the little girl next, and the whole sculpture probably will take 1.5 to 2 years.
So you're not going to necessarily wait till the whole thing's done. We will see it start to appear.
I believe they're going to display the wolf to kind of show it off when we get it completed.
Well, that's exciting. Well, Matt, again, I'm here with artists Glenn and Curtis Teterow. Back to you in the studio.
The Osage Trail Legacy Monument project is being funded privately and in full cooperation with the Osage Nation. Travelers can expect to see the first phase of the monument completed by the end of this year. A Rolla man has been charged with involuntary manslaughter and second-degree assault following a crash that killed a West Plains man on October 30th. The crash occurred in Howell County on Highway 63, 5 miles south of Willow Springs. The deceased is 50-year-old Kenneth Ginn. Chad Arnold was driving his 2012 GMC when he struck the rear of Ginn's 2005 Ford pickup, causing Ginn to cross the median and overturn. Ginn was partially ejected and later pronounced dead at the scene. An 18-year-old from Licking has also been charged with involuntary vehicular manslaughter following his involvement in a fatal crash that killed his passenger on Halloween. 17-year-old Kelsey Hayes was ejected from a 1993 Mazda MX-3 driven by Austin DIEDRICH. The Mazda ran off the road while negotiating a curve, overturning several times before striking a tree. The crash occurred on State Route BB, 5 miles southwest of Licking. According to the Highway Patrol, neither person was wearing a seatbelt. In addition to the manslaughter charge, DIEDRICH has also been charged with driving while intoxicated and careless and imprudent driving resulting in an accident. Pamela Raycamp has been named the new artistic director for Ozark Actors Theater in Rolla. Raycamp holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in voice and a master's degree in acting. Fidelity's Lee Mentink caught up with her last week.
I'm here at the Cedar Street Playhouse with Pamela Raycamp. She's been hired as the new artistic director of Ozark Actors Theater. Pamela, what's the new direction that you're going to take as the new artistic director for OAT?
Well, we have a couple of things lined up. One of the first things that we're going to do that we're very excited about is to do a sort of a full court media press, which we haven't done before. So we're going to court some millennials, and we're going to be doing the tweeting and Instagram and stuff like that to make better connections with the community, so that where our sponsors are a part of that and our advertisers are a part of that, and so that it's sort of like a summer summer love. A lot of the company in oat summer season is only here for the summer, but we really want the community to get to know those people because a lot of our actors are returning. You know, they come back every summer to do oat or stuff like that. So that's one of the things, is to kind of start moving into the modern world with a new website and all this social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that sort of thing. The second thing we're going to do is we have sort of faded away from some education classes, and I really, really want to bring those back. That's a huge part of Ozark Actors Theater's mission, is to educate as well as perform. So bring classes back for the community that are helpful to us here and benefit us here at OAT, but for the people taking the classes, it benefits them if they're going to audition for something at school or do something technical at school. Or if they're going to go, if this is a career that they choose to pursue, that they have to go out in that. And then artistically, as we look at the season, I think the biggest change is going to be Ozark Actors Theater has been without an artistic director for about 2 years. And so when a new person comes in, me, the aesthetic changes. And so I think that's probably the biggest thing. I come from a background, I'm a very physical actress. When I direct shows, I really concentrate on physicality because that's what's most important to me. There's a very good argument to be made that text, the play, should be the first thing. But in my experience, I've found that when we can create pictures, when the director can create pictures that are infused by the text, that's when it sticks with you. That's when the audience says, oh, I just took a picture of that and now it sticks with me. And maybe if they can't even recite the text, but they know the feeling behind the picture, and that's what sticks with them.
So what if we can't wait till summer to see OAT performances?
We have a community production coming up of the story of the Velveteen Rabbit, which is a classic story. There are a couple different variations. Ours is called The Story of the Velveteen Rabbit, and it opens on November 12th and runs
This year.
Yes, this November, and runs through the 22nd. So it's a nice lead-in to your holidays because it's a lovely, lovely holiday story. And the director of it, her name is Laurie McConnell, and she is actually the wife of an OAT favorite performer. His name is Alan Knoll. Alan has been here, performed here for years, directed here, and she's just got she toured the show for 6 or 8 months with the Imaginary Theater Company, so she's very, very familiar with the story, and I've known her. Her and I did our first professional jobs together back in a long time. I've known her, so.
So that's the sets that we're seeing here, right, Pamela?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we wish you the best on this show and into 2016, and congratulations on your new position.
Thank you. I really look forward to it. Thank you for having me and doing this today.
Back to you, Matt.
Ozark Actors Theater will begin its 29th season in 2016. The Rolla City Council unanimously chose Acting Fire Chief Ron Smith to become the city's new permanent chief during closed session on November 2nd. More than 40 people applied for the job. The list was eventually narrowed down to 5 candidates, 3 external and 2 from within. Smith has been part of the firefighting profession since he was a teenager. He initially began fighting fire with the Doolittle Rural Fire Protection District in 1986. 2 years later, he became a paid on-call firefighter for the city of Rolla. The Rolla City Council also approved an agreement that will allow a planned solar farm to connect to Rolla municipal utilities, providing power to as many as 350 homes. RMU General Manager Rodney Bourne said if and when the solar farm is built and generating, it will sell the electrical power to the Missouri Public Energy Pool. The proposed solar farm would be placed on 15 acres of land on the east side of High Point Industrial Park. The solar farm would receive tax credits and tax exemptions. According to city officials, an access road in the St. James Industrial Park will be extended to help with the expansion of COHEN architectural woodworking. The Delta Regional Authority announced a $206,000 investment toward the project that will be combined with both public and private funds to extend Wilson Drive. Founder Philip Cohen said 8 new jobs would be created initially, but he expects that number to grow to 35. Cohen says his company mostly does cabinetry work for healthcare offices and said the demand for his products has increased dramatically. A new 50,000 square foot building is planned, accessible by the extension of Wilson Drive. The St. James City Street Department and city utilities will help with the road project. Beginning November 15th, visitors to Fort Leonard Wood without possession of a Department of Defense issued photo identification card will be required to complete a background check and obtain a pass to gain entry to the post. Driver's license scans at Fort Leonard Wood gates will no longer be an accepted means of entry. The result of the background check, which may take up to 10 business days, will determine if a pass is granted. The policy affects all unescorted individuals with a valid need to access the fort. If an application for a pass is denied, the requester will receive a denial letter that will outline the waiver process. A large crowd turned out the night before Halloween for the first ever Light Up the Park 3K fun run at Lions Club Park. Donations from this event will go toward the Cops Care program, which has been providing Christmas presents to needy children for the past 26 years. A total nearing $3,100 was raised from the event, and thanks to No Shave November, the Rolla Police Department presented an additional check for $5,780 to Cops Care. Through this fundraiser, several police officers may now go the entire month of November without shaving. Our production of varsity football has wrapped for 2015. I'd like to thank all of you for the continued interest in our Ozark Conference Game of the Week. It'll be back next year. As for me, you'll see me right back here next week for another edition of the Weekly Recap. Thanks for watching.